California. I've only been in New York for about 2 months at this point, and so far I've noticed that there's a lot of differences between California and New York, and I've kind of figured it out, like cracked it down to its very base level. Unlike California, New York is like fucking cold. So the other morning I woke up and I roll over and it was freezing in my room because my roommate is from Staten Island, and so she likes the air conditioning on because I guess it makes her think of home or something. And I thought there was going to be frozen drool next to me on my pillow. I looked up at my ceiling and I thought I was going to get like that white powdery stuff in my eyes. What's that called? Oh, snow. I looked over in the corner and I thought Frosty the fucking Snowman had set up shop in the corner of my room. It turns out it was just my roommate wearing all white. So I got up and I dressed in like 5 layers of clothing. I've got like 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of pants, 4 shirts, like a sweater, a scarf, hat, gloves, because I wanted my Sbarros for breakfast. And so I walk out and one of the girls on my floor walks over and she's like, "Oh my God, Luna, are you okay?" And I look at her and I'm like, "Is this winter?" And she gave me the most pitiful look. She goes, "Luna, it's 55 degrees, this is still summer." And I probably would have cried, but I was afraid the tears were going to freeze on my cheeks. Another weird weather thing I want to talk to you guys about is how casually you all talk about hurricanes. That's weird for me, because in California, we barely get rain. So if it drizzles, it's a huge deal. So like, we'll be like just casually, start drizzling, and we're like getting in our bunkers. If California had bunkers, we've got, I'm like, like a weird lady on the street, like, ready to steal my dog, and it's weird, and you guys are just like, yeah, we're just talking about the hurricane, you know how it is. So when people, like a few weeks ago, when you're like, oh, there's gonna be a hurricane, I had like my canned goods ready. I like filled up my Brita full of water just in case there wasn't going to be enough water falling from the sky. I was really, really scared. And my roommate, like I said, she's from Staten Island, and she thinks I'm very dramatic when it comes to a lot of things, including talking about the weather. And while I get that, I don't really think she has much room to talk because she's one of the most dramatic people I've ever met in my life. And that's saying a lot because I'm like a theater kid. So one day, she and I were hanging out, and we're talking to this one girl, and this girl starts talking about her ex-boyfriend in jail. And my roommate, she raises her hands to the heavens, and she goes, "Grandma." I just kind of looked at her, and I was like, what? And I was like, did her grandmother pass away? And then I was like, wait, I just saw Grandma last week. I was like, no, I looked at her, I'm like, Melissa, is Grandma okay? And she goes, I was like, okay, you trying to communicate? Grandma's fine. Grandma's fine. And I was like, oh, and she's like, but if Grandma was here, rest in peace, Grandma, she'd be done. Okay, so that's kind of like a thing that I've noticed is that people in New York are very quirky and like, they're a lot of personality. And I think that that's another huge difference is that the people in New York are very, very angry. The people in California are not very angry, and I don't know if it's just because we're high all the time, but pretty much no one in California is angry ever. And in New York, I'm apparently supposed to have this very real fear of getting beat up like, on a regular basis. Like I can't look people in the eyes because I'm gonna get beat up. I can't talk to people because that'll definitely lead to getting beat up. Like I can't ride the subway because I'm going to get beat up. I can't do anything because I'm going to get beat up. I cannot steal someone else's oxygen in New York, otherwise I'm going to get beat up. And another thing is people like to talk about California stereotypes a lot, so I get a lot of questions from especially New Yorkers about stereotypes. So one girl asked me if it's true that the ocean was drying up. And I was like, what? She's like, well, isn't there a drought in California? I was like, no, that's not how it works. And a lot of people ask if I'm vegan, and I'm like, have you ever seen me go to Sbarros? Because that's not true either. But the weirdest question I've ever gotten was from my floor mate. It was actually earlier today, and she's like, so people in California smoke a lot, right? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, okay, well, is it true that when you fart, it smells like weed? And I was like so taken aback. I was like, what kind of question is that? Like, I understand that there's a lot of differences between people in California and people everywhere else, but are you guys actually going to sit here and tell me that everyone's farts don't smell like weed? That's weird. So, yeah, that's all.